Today we are continuing our preserving journey by canning some parsnips that I got really cheap on sale. The recipe I am using is from the Michigan University's website, I believe. Now that we found that, we are getting on to washing our jars thoroughly. We want them sanitized. There was the canner coming out of storage, and here is the parsnips being washed. They will also be peeled for canning. You can bring in a little help just like I did. Here is me peeling the parsnips. As I had mentioned earlier, this is such an important step as most of that bacteria that we are trying to eradicate lives on the skin. And proper canning should kill off all extra bacteria that may be present. So avoid any unnecessary bacteria and peel your root vegetables. We are cold canning this recipe, which means I will be putting the parsnips in a jar with cold water, then putting them in the canner cold. This is a super important step for your jars not to break. Then we will put the lid on your pressure canner. Yes, this has to be pressure canned. And once we see a steady stream of steam coming out the vent pipe, we will set a timer for 10 minutes before we put the weight on. Once your weight is on, make sure your canner comes up to pressure and then time your contents according to guidelines. It is so important that you let your pressure canner decrease in pressure fully before you take the weight and the lid off. Now your pressure canner is open, you can let it cool down a little bit, take your jars out and place them on a rag to cool for up to 12 to 24 hours. We do not want to touch them at any point during this time. After this time is up, you can now inspect your jars by tapping the lids, taking the rings off. We do not want to store them with the rings, that can create a false seal. And we will inspect the jars and the contents to make sure everything is in tip-top shape. And this is how you preserve parsnips for many years to come. Hope you enjoyed.